everything feels different for you, and you are trying to make sense of everything. And please understand that grief often deepens how we understand life, how we understand love, and how we understand and give compassion. When people talk about grief, often they focus on the pain of the loss, right? And the pain is very, very real. You know, losing someone that we love is one of the most difficult experiences you'll ever face in life. It's hard. It hits hard, really. It shatters your world, and not many things compared to that. But over time, many people notice something that they didn't expect at all. Grief can change how we see the world, how we relate to other people. And after experiencing loss, many people begin to notice that their perspective on life changes. It changes quite a lot. You know, small things may start to feel more meaningful. Things you never used to care about before, things you never used to enjoy. Now you have the sense that life is fleeting. You start having the sense that things that you thought were important before, they're not as important as the things that are considered small but meaningful. You know, moments that once seemed to be ordinary may now feel so precious. Even things that you hated about the person that you've just lost, now you wish you could get another chance again. You wish you'd be given another chance to appreciate those little things, because you may find that those little things that you used to hate are now the things that you miss. You know, people sometimes find themselves becoming aware, more aware of the importance of relationships. You cherish your relationships. The relationships that you currently have with people, you start to get an understanding that you might not always have this relationship, that you might lose this relationship anytime without any notice. So you start to feel the importance of relationships and the value of time. You start valuing time. You start realizing that we don't have time in this world and that life can be taken anytime. The fragility of life. You could be here today, gone tomorrow, or your loved one could be here today, gone tomorrow. So losing someone that we love can remind us of what truly, truly matters, because sometimes we focus on big things which are sometimes not that useful in our lives, that are not so meaningful in our lives. For those of you who may still be new in this series, who do not know who I am, let me just briefly introduce myself. My name is Gugu. I'm the founder of Arise Life Coaching. I am an integrative stress resolution specialist. I help resolve stress from its roots, not just manage and cope with it, but I help individuals to resolve the root causes of their stress. I help people identify the causes of their stress and what lies beneath the surface of their lives. Many of the individuals that I work with are ordinary people who are navigating experiences such as burnout, trauma, grief, mental or emotional overwhelm, and the like. And the things that I've learned as I deal with people who are going through emotional pain is that when pain is understood and it is processed well, sometimes it can lead to deeper compassion and wisdom. This is what this series has been about. Over time, I've noticed that many grieving people discover that their experience of loss changes how they relate to other people or how they even feel about themselves. They may become more compassionate to other people who are going through the same, because there's nothing that reminds you about your need for other people than experiencing the loss of a loved one. Other people become more patient because they've been through it. They've gone through taking care of a loved one. They've been caregivers. They've been watching and experiencing how long illness or how being incapacitated can cause people to change and be who they were not before. So they gain that patience through the experiences that they've been through, right? Others become more aware of the struggles that other people are carrying. Until you start to look after a person who's terminally ill, you don't really have that experience. You don't have the compassion or the empathy to understand what another person is going through. But when you've gone through it yourself, you become more aware of the struggles of other people. Because now you understand something about pain, you understand something about that experience that other people have not learned, and things that you cannot learn from any book in the world. Understanding this can deepen our humanity. So it makes us more present with others who are suffering. Grief can make us more present. You become more compassionate. You become more empathetic. You actually can understand what they are going through. You no longer think they're just being too much. You no longer think that they're just making this about themselves. You no longer think that maybe they're crying too much or they're just feeling too much pain without, a good reason. You understand properly and perfectly what they are going through. And another important realization that many people have is that people that they lost continue to influence their lives. That's the wisdom that we get from that. Their words, we've talked about that in the past video. Their words, the words that they used to speak, words of wisdom they used to speak, their values, their love. And sometimes, the most meaningful way to honor someone that we have lost is to carry forward what they gave us, the kindness that they showed us, the lessons that they shared, the love that they expressed. In this way, their influence continues through our lives. The lives that we live continue to reflect their values, their lessons, and the love that they expressed to us. So grief never really or completely disappears. It doesn't. But over time, many people notice that the sharpness of the pain begins to fade, and the memories that once brought tears eventually bring warmth to our hearts. So love and memory, as I've said, can coexist peacefully, right? And life can slowly expand again. And if you've been following in this series, you have heard me talk about many parts of grief. You've heard me talk about the emotional waves, how grief comes in waves. It just doesn't go in a straight line. Like the ocean, it comes and goes. It comes in waves. The loneliness that you go through when you are grieving, even though you may be surrounded by many people, but you still feel lonely. You don't feel understood. You feel like no one gets it. The complicated emotions that you face when you are grieving, guilt, regret, sometimes relief that many people will not talk about because it feels like a betrayal or it feels like they didn't love the person. Anger at yourself, anger at doctors, anger at caregivers, anger even sometimes at the person who has passed away, and the pressure to be strong. Community and people who feel uncomfortable with your grief and they do not know how to do it, or they do not know how to handle it. What do? They pressure you to be strong, to make them comfortable. So all of these experiences are part of being human. But there's one message I hope you will carry with you. And this message is, feeling grief does not make you weak. It does not make you weak. It means that you loved deeply, and the love that you have is one of the most powerful forces in the human experience. So I'd like to say to you, if you'd like to explore these ideas in a deeper way, feel free to go to my website, ariselifecoaching.net, and download my grief guide called When Loss Changes Everything. And if you feel that you'd benefit from deeper support in navigating your grief or your emotional stress, you are welcome to explore many other resources that are available there as well. And if this has helped you, please share it with someone who might need it. And you are very welcome to subscribe if you'd like more conversations or videos like this. And if you are navigating grief, and maybe not only grief, but also stress around the grief that you are experiencing, and you feel like you need more support, I do have one-on-one sessions that can help you through what you're going through. So remember all the time, you are allowed to feel. And thank you so much for being here.